What's your Cassandras Syndrome story where you predicted something bad would happen, but nobody believed you until it was too late? Called Brexit even before there was a referendum because I kept watching this Nigel Farage guy in the EU Parliament. Called Trump's election in the spring 2016 because I was watching the way the news covered the guy and how his cult was starting to become said cult. The nail in the coffin was still that FBI asshole who started an investigation into Hillary just a day or so before the election. What's his name, Comey or something? Maybe the two most important shifts in politics in the last decade. Initial election that newcomer Donald Trump would absolutely dominate the GOP field, and that whether he won the presidency depended purely on whether the DNC nominated Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. I predicted a narrow win by Bernie if he won the DNC, and a narrow loss by Hillary if she won the DNC. At the time, no one took me seriously because Trump was viewed as a non-serious, racist, sexist longshot. And then the rest was history. Out of the blue, my wife's ex-stepmother calls and wanted to re-establish communication. She's retired, has a good relationship with her own adult children and seems to be doing okay. Only her last husband died a little over a year prior. Red flag. I mentioned to my wife to watch out. She may be trying to get back with her dad through her. Ding ding ding. After 6 or 7 years of playing nice, she sees that my Phil isn't going to get back with her. She ghosts my wife. Oxy addiction me. To STBXY and F, are you taking OXY to manage stress? Did you miss the headlines about all the addiction-related deaths? Emoxy isn't killing people. Heroin is. Facepalm, facepalm, facepalm. He has an ODD. He's using multiple pills, substances, alcohol, and his life is heading for a cliff. I'm out as soon as the house is sold. And at that point I'm gonna guess he hits the heavy stuff because I ruined his life by divorcing him. My parents bought a stock once and it didn't work out. So my dad just slammed money, certificates of deposits and cash. Good auto interest. Sigh. His is it you have cash and liquid assets. The world needs cash like a gunshot victim needs a blood transfusion, and you're sitting on a damned blood bank just by the SP 500. SPY is $250 a share. They turned me down. It's $500 a share now. Sigh. Not me, but my wife would always say my brother-in-law, who's a recovering alcoholic and who's been sober for the last decade, shouldn't be around all the alcohol at my family's parties. Everyone would always don't offer him alcohol, but act like him being around it was just fine. Guess who recently relapsed and started getting blackout drunk again? I was having a conversation with a coworker about a call from a person at another company I had just handled and said she always makes it sound like the sky is falling. Then boom, our building shook from a nearby construction project. Most people within earshot stopped, turned and stared at me for a few seconds after that. NSA and their data collection on civilians. Everyone told me I was being paranoid and that everything was okay because Obama wouldn't use that power. My response was, well, what if the next president is a psychopath? I had no idea how much worse it would be than I believed it could be. I have an uncanny knack of predicting what relationships will last in my friend group, as well as random predictors of what will happen in their lives based on their behaviors. I consistently say I'm Cassandra because I could predict the future, and no one listens. I remember as a kid hearing about the US invading Iraq over WND, saying to my mom, it would be embarrassing for us to invade and find nothing. I was early teens. Also, it made sense to me why Iraq neither wanted to confirm nor deny WNDs. They kept Iran at bay. We got word in summer of 2019. Something's about to happen. I filled my cabinets with supplies. Then in around December they announced the disease. I'm glad I listened. My dogs and I made it through it all. But yeah, we got messages in August of 2019. In 4th grade we were learning about earthquakes and California was one of the topics. This was during the World Series, and I thought, wouldn't that be weird if they had during the World Series? Didn't really tell anyone, but it was weird happening. COVID, when it was just a series of strange infections in Wuhan. I had a strange, very bad feeling about it. I told my co-workers that this will be the pandemic. Mark my words. My father died in the second wave. Teenage years. My buddies started using an abandoned house for smoke sessions. Told them that was stupid and a great way to get caught. 2 weeks later, they were all arrested. COVID. I'm from the same city as the first reported case in America, and I posted a little bit panicked. All my friends teased me to relax. Shame. Shame, shame. Coffee addiction law. I warned them it was a slippery slope from iced coffees to unable to function without morning coffee. But no one believed that Biden would wreck the economy. Though I don't really consider that a prediction, more of an educated observation. Cassandras Syndrome has a very specific meaning related to autism. It does not mean what you're asking. Every time my friends date someone named Craig or Josh,